My 63 Cadillac has sat long enough. It's time to get this thing back on the road. Let's see what I've done to this thing. Let's get started. This is my 1963 Cadillac, and it is pretty dirty because we transported it here all the way from Kansas. And while it was sitting in the shop, I've done a lot to it. It's about 80% done. We're getting close. And Ronnie is going to take it to the finish line. We're going to get him here in a minute and we can describe what we're doing. But it came originally with the 390 Cadillac, and yes, I have LS swapped it. No, I will not LS swap your vehicle. This is my personal Cadillac, and as you can see, it has taken months and months and months. We have a shop to run. I can't dedicate hour after hour for weeks and months and years to one car. I can't do that. So, yes, I'm capable of doing it, but no, we don't offer that service to the public. It's just for me, something I'm doing on my own free time. I got this thing in Kansas City. I traded a car that I had for it straight across, and it ran and drove. It had the 390, original 390 and everything in it. But it ran rough, and I finally at one point pulled the motor, and you guys have seen previous videos in the past where the cam was wiped out, there was metal debris on the engine, all the bearings were shot. It had a lot of issues with it. And I personally don't get into deep engine rebuilds. I can do it, but I don't want to take that much time. And I called a guy up that specializes in the Cadillac engines. And I was thinking, this is going to be $4 or $5 grand, but whatever, I'll pay it. Until he told me to go through that engine, $9 to $10 grand. I was like, what? That's right, $9,000 to $10,000. He said it takes a lot of time. A lot of the parts are hard to track down. Some parts he has, some he has to special order. Some he has to search high and low and see if he can get them. It's extremely time consuming. It's strange because back in the day when this car was fairly new, all the parts on that engine were on everybody's shelves. They were just everywhere. Now they're not. They're really hard to track down. And I kind of understand where he's coming from because I just went to eBay and started typing in engine parts for the 390 Cadillac. Everything was $600 for that, $1,000 for this, $1,200 for that, $400 for that. I was like, whoa, yeah, that's pretty expensive. So I did some thinking. I thought about it for a while. It's like, you know what? I want this thing to cruise for many more years to come, number one. Number two, I don't like carburetors. I don't want to fool with carburetors. Back in the day, they ran great. With today's trash gas, they really don't run very well, especially under the hood as the temperatures rise. Normal engine heat literally boils the gas out of the carburetor. How many times have you been to a car show with antique cars, and on the way out, as it's time for everyone to go home, half of them are on the side of the road, they won't start. It's because they've all boiled the carburetors out of their gas. They can't get them to crank. I don't want to do that. I decided I need fuel injection. I want something modern. So if a water pump goes out, I just go to O'Reilly's, AutoZone, wherever favorite store you go to. There it is on the shelf. That's not going to be so with a 390 Cadillac. Also wanted overdrive. I wanted a lot of modern features, but the rest stays stock. I had this thing really spotless and clean before we left, and the journey up here on a car trailer, it is just nasty and dirty. I like to keep my cars clean and looking nice, but just sitting in the shop, the interior got really dusty. I'm glad I have the right stuff to clean and protect it. I've already fallen in love with the Optico Optimum No Rinse Car Wash for cleaning the exterior, but I'm now adding the Protectant Plus interior cleaning to my go-to car detailing kit. Let me show you how easy it is to use. I just add a couple of capfuls of the ONR solution to a couple of gallons of water. This mixture already works great for cleaning the exterior, but watch what it does. I just have to dampen this towel and wipe down the dash and the seat. This step picks up the dirt and debris. After it's clean, I can apply this Protectant Plus. Wow, look how nice it looks. Plus, it works on leather, vinyl, or plastic, and it protects your interior from sun damage from UV rays. With over 320 days of sun here in Las Cruces, I wear sunscreen when I go out, and now I make sure all of my cars have UV protection too. I know you guys see a lot of car products online and wonder, is it really good? Let me tell you, this stuff is the real deal. The Optimum No Rinse solution saves on water, and the spray is so easy to use. You really need to check out these products. Be sure to click the links in the description below. And I can tell you right now, as soon as we're done filming, I'm going to use the solution I've already mixed up to wash the rest of the car because it is dirty. It needs a bath. This stuff really does work, guys. Let's get back to the engine bay. Let's go ahead and get this hood open and show you what I've done. You guys have seen it in the background, but you haven't seen under the hood yet. Let's take a look. Does that look familiar, guys? 2001 Chevy Silverado 5.3 non-AFM engine, throttle by cable, old school. It is 80% done. It's bolted in, all the special mounts. We've got transmission cooler lines. We've got the relocation of the AC compressor. And Ronnie is currently finishing up all the wiring for the ECM and the sensors and the gauges and all that stuff. I did have to replace the radiator with one that has ports located properly for the hoses on the LS engine. It's going to have about the same horsepower and roughly about the same amount of torque. It'd be so much more reliable. And if the engine does have issues in the future, it's not going to be 1,000 for that and 500 for that. It's going to be 50 and 20 and 100 and 150. Way cheaper. And someday, for years from now, when I've sold this car and the next person gets it, this car will have so many more years added to its life. It can go 30, 40 years from now. This engine can take this car way into the future. So, let's get this thing up in the air and take a look underneath. How did I make all this work? How did I bolt all this up? Let's take a look. Now, I know LS swaps are getting old. You mention it to it and people actually get a grimace on their face and they're like, bro, I'm so disappointed. An LS swap, really? But it makes sense. They're way cheap to maintain. They're cheap to get parts. And we're going to go over that here in a minute, how all in, when I have this whole job done, it's going to be half the money that it would be to just rebuild the original engine. And I'll have way better drivability, overdrive, all kinds of really cool stuff. So underneath here, we can see our aftermarket radiator that has the proper ports for the LS engine. We have our transmission cooler, which goes to an auxiliary cooler after that. I did have to put a shallower oil pan because the original one would hang down to about here. It would be way too low. I would be hitting it and scraping it. And this one's about in line with the steering linkage, so that's about perfect. I did add, you can see the exhaust manifolds. These are some LS swap manifolds that work really well for this particular swap, and it dumps right exactly between the frame horns here. So what transmission is this?
A 4L Slippy?
Nope. It's an old school 700R4. I bought this from a person who had it. It was in a van, and it has the GM rebuilt sticker on it. They even had the paperwork. They said this thing was rebuilt. The engine blew up because it was wrecked and it damaged the engine. They said the transmission's good, and they really hate to scrap their van out, but good 700R4. I did have to buy a special flex plate to use the 700R4 torque converter, but it works great. And the reason why is because now I have a mechanical hookup for my speedometer. I don't have to do any weird stuff with the gauges. I can use my stock speedometer and make sure I get the right gearing, the teeth, the plastic little teeth in there. But other than that, it'll just bolt right up. It screws right in. I did have to buy this plate from Vintage Motors, which allows you to mount a transmission right here. The original engine didn't have anything right here to actually hold the transmission up. This one works really well. And then my drive shaft, which anytime you do engine swaps on older cars, you can really make life hard for yourself with drive shaft links and yokes and splines and all these things. But I was able to find a U-joint where two of the ears connect directly to the stock OEM 1963 Cadillac drive shaft, but the other two use the correct yoke, the slip yoke, for a 700R4. And it has about this much play forward and aft. It's perfect. So I really didn't have to do some serious modification with that. I do have fuel lines and wiring ran all the way to the back, which I'll show you here in a minute. But the motor mounts, before we go too far back, let me show you the motor mounts. So you can see these little horns here are made to fit in this car. You weld them in, and then you put the bracket there, and it bolts your engine right to the frame. So that's how I mounted the engine and the transmission and made it all work. The hard part is getting an engine to set in the car happily. The rest is just wiring and hoses and lines and things. So let's head on to the back of the car.
Wizard, are you going no muffler?
Right now it has no mufflers. This was made from about here back. It works perfectly. I just need to tie this into the new engine. Again, we have our stock drive shaft. The fuel lines ran here to a fuel filter. And it goes up and over to the fuel tank. I don't have any pictures or anything of it, but this is the original tank. Well, it was a new version of the original tank. And I modified it to fit a universal in-tank electric fuel pump that'll have the power and pressure to run the LS motor. I ran the wiring and everything, so I'll have full fuel injection on this car. We have our original differential. Everything's intact. I didn't have to modify anything with the suspension. It's sitting just right like it should. I do have glass packs, as you can see out the back, so it should have that classic sound. Let's get this thing on the ground. So I know there are a lot of YouTubers out there, including myself, that have unfinished failed projects. I'm guilty of that, just like many others, and there are some that have 5 pages of failed projects. I have a few. This one will not be one of them. It's almost to the finish line. It's just got a little bit more that I'm going to have Ronnie do because he's already Tesla swapped Broncos. This stuff's easy for him. And I can do it as well, but I've got a shop to run. And when I have a weekend, you guys, I'm running a shop, we're doing YouTube, doing all these different things. When me and Mrs. Wizard get a few hours off or maybe a day off, we don't want to be in here. We don't. So, the goal is with this car is that when you hear it drive by, it sounds stock. It doesn't sound anything strange. When you see it drive by, it looks stock. When you sit in and actually drive it, it'll feel stock. You probably won't even know that it's been LS swapped until you open the hood and you're like, oh, that's not a 390 Cadillac. That's my goal, is to make it modern. I don't want to change it or lower it or do anything crazy with it. I just want it to be able to drive on the highway again, and it'll have overdrive, cruise control, air conditioning, all those niceties, like a modern car. Then let me go grab Ronnie and we can talk about it. So you've got your work cut out for you, but the heavy lifting is already done. You're kind of having fun doing this, aren't you?
I'm having a lot of fun, yeah. In between the other jobs we get a minute, I'm happy to dive back on this thing. It's a really cool project. One
thing that's really cool is you're no stranger to doing this kind of work. You're able to put Tesla systems in an old school Bronco and make it all mesh together, and it's amazing that you could even do that. So I kind of knew you probably have no problem dialing this in and finishing it up. And one thing that's really cool about the LS swaps is the parts are so cheap. You know how much I paid for the swap harness?
I'm guessing under 200 bucks.
95 bucks.
Oh, even lower than I thought.
I remember a day and time when they were $1,000 for an LS swap harness. Now they're 100.
That's way better. I'm used to working on Fords, and the harnesses I buy are usually 600 and up. Almost every single part you do for an LS, everything, just there's scale, so it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. There's so much demand and so many parts for these that they can mass produce more and make the price cheaper. So you've got to run the harness to the ECM, some power, grounds, and things. You're actually getting kind of close to actually where we could start it up, huh?
We're really close to firing it up. Yeah, I was just wrapping my mind. It took a little time to go around the car, just get caught up with all the work that's been done before we can jump in.
Well, I'm excited to let you get it to that point. I can't wait to cruise around Las Cruces. Do you think this thing will fit in down here?
I think it's going to fit in perfect. We might have to get you some custom graphics, and it's going to be fun to go to car shows.
Maybe in the back window I should put Little Chuggy or something.
There you go, and some nice cursive.
Yeah, in cursive. So anyways, I'll let you get back to break, but I wanted to show you guys who's going to take this car to the finish line. No, it will not be an unfinished project. We're actually really close. Oh, and you got to weld in the O2 sensor bungs.
Yeah, we get to do some welding, a little bit of fabricating, so. But don't call us and ask for that. Unless you own the shop, you don't get this service.
Right. Again, this is not something I will do for you guys out there. This is just my personal car, and it has taken months, if not years, to get it to this point. So, all right, I'll let you head back to break. Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you.
I'm glad that it's sitting on the lift and it finally made it down here, because of all the cars I towed, which is quite a few on a trailer, this one was actually scary because it's so long The back fin area hung off the back of the trailer quite a ways. And we drove it on a windy day, and the wind was catching it literally like a sailboat and kind of swerving it around. We had to go about 55 or 60 all the way for 800 miles. It took, where it normally took 11 or 12 hours, it took us 15 to get here just because of this car. But I'm happy we took our time and got it down here. Once she's up and running, it'll be so nice to just get up on the highway, cruise control. It'll just be like a modern car. It'll have a modern engine. Fuel injection, if I go up to high altitudes, I don't have to fool with the carburetor. If I go to low altitudes, I don't have to fool with the carburetor and mess with the jets. I don't have to do any of that. The computer will do it all. And I can use 10%, 5% ethanol gas because the entire fuel system from the tank all the way forward, I've used ethanol-friendly supplies. So it won't hurt to go to the pump and just fill it up with regular old gas. It loves it. So definitely wanted to get a video out to you guys to show you where we're at with the Cadillac, what I've done to it, and how Ronnie's going to help take it to the finish line and get this thing running. I'm so excited to take it to car shows, guys. Really excited. If you're curious what kind of tools we use to work on this Cadillac or any other car in the shop, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. All the tools we use every day, tried and true in the shop, are listed for sale there. And if you purchase anything, we get a small cut, and we really do appreciate it. And just like you've been seeing in the last several videos, we're not closing the shop. We're not shutting down the YouTube channel. That has never been a thing. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We have many more videos to come. Thanks for watching.